Ubizo, lungibize engalweni. Ngiyokhalela bani nayi iphimbo lami liphindaphinde entabeni. Ngithi inyawo zami ngibeleze kulo mhlaba nemsindo. Ngifunana noxolo ey'ngalweni. Kukhalisima emaye emzini kamkhulu. Umkhondolo usekhaya.
Sawubona to you, sawubona to yours. From one great spirit to another. Igama lami uThulani Malevu. Welcome to Ubizo Daily. Today we speak about growth, not the kind that feels inspiring at the beginning, but the kind that feels uncomfortable, unfamiliar, even unsettling, because real growth does not always feel like progress. Sometimes it feels like losing your balance, and many people turn back at this point, not because they are failing, but because they are expanding beyond what feels familiar. Let's speak about the comfort of the known. Human beings are naturally drawn to what feels familiar, even when it is limiting, even when it is no longer serving them, because familiarity creates a sense of safety. You know how things work, you know what to expect, you know who you are within that environment, and stepping beyond that familiarity feels like stepping into the unknown, and the unknown often feels like risk. Let's speak about growth that disrupts identity, or rather the fact that growth disrupts identity. Growth is not just about changing your circumstances. It is about changing who you are, and that can feel destabilizing. The habits that once defined you begin to shift. The relationships that once felt aligned may begin to change, and also the way you see yourself begins to evolve, and in that transition something uncomfortable happens. You are no longer fully who you were, but you are not fully yet who you are becoming. That space in between can feel like uncertainty. Let's speak about why many people retreat. When growth begins to feel uncomfortable, many people retreat. They return to old habits, old environments, old ways of thinking, not because those things are better, but because they are familiar. Therefore, comfort can be convincing. It whispers, stay here, this is easier. But comfort doesn't always lead to growth. Sometimes it leads to stagnation. Let's speak about the instability of expansion. Expansion often feels unstable at first, like learning a new skill, like stepping into a new role, like speaking with a new voice. At the beginning, nothing feels natural. Everything feels, or rather requires effort. Everything feels uncertain, but this is not failure. This is adjustment. The mind and spirit are learning how to operate at a new level. From one great spirit to another, let's speak about staying through the discomfort. I've come to understand that growth requires staying present through discomfort, not rushing back to what feels easy, not abandoning the process too early, but allowing yourself to be a beginner again. Allowing yourself to feel uncertain without interpreting it as weakness, because discomfort is often a signal, not that something is wrong, but that something new is forming. Let's speak about when expansion becomes natural. If you stay with growth long enough, something shifts. What once felt unfamiliar becomes normal. What once required effort becomes natural. What once felt unstable becomes steady. This is the process of expansion, but it only reveals its reward to those who are willing to remain through the early discomfort. Because growth does not announce itself with comfort at the beginning. It often arrives as challenge and only later becomes ease. So today, reflect on where you are in your journey. Is the discomfort you are feeling a sign to stop, or is it a sign that you are growing beyond your old limits? Because expansion rarely feels really feels comfortable at first, but if you stay with it, it eventually becomes your new normal. And the life that once felt out of reach becomes the life you now stand in with confidence. Until next time, okuhle, umusa, kanye nokukhanya ekuhambeni kwakho. Light, mercy, and blessings upon your journey. Ubizo Daily, the call continues.